Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today is arm day. And sorry, there might be a bit of noise or some construction going on a few houses down. Not much I can do about it. So let's get right into the training. Started off with a closed grip bench press, and we've got a lot happening in this vlog. It's going to be a real long vlog. Some adjustments in what I'm doing as I've continued to shift more and more towards bodybuilding training. This closed grip honestly felt heavier than I like. I really wanted the reps to be 10 plus. I felt like this just felt awkward. Again, I'm trying to get used to closed gripping again, and it doesn't look pretty like my wide grip bench. Because I used to only closed grip, and I used to be really strong at closed grip. Like you guys saw me hit a 365. I used to do sets of 10 afterwards with 225. But I was also heavier and doing all closed grip. Now I wide grip bench, like really wide grip. But I wanted to bring it back in on arm day because it's a great basic exercise to start with. But I'm trying to start bringing the reps and volume up a little bit. I ran a little bit heavier for a while and even trimmed the volume down. And I ran, I guess, for about a week and a half, my 6 sets of muscle group. My recovery is perfect after that. I feel like I'm able to really bounce back. I feel fantastic. It's like my sleep is on point. All my joints feel good. I have no pain anywhere at all, no inflammation. So what I'm going to do is start working this back up, and I'm going to go over to more and more really just bodybuilder training, but with a little bit of heavy work for my big three. And like I said, I'm already on a body part split. I am probably going to adjust that over to a 5-day Monday through Friday. I'm also going to start doing abs at the end of every one. So I'm also going to bring the volumes up to a little more of what's normally recommended. I've had plenty of clients in that 6 to 8 set who've done really well. However, what I started looking at, again, I need to look more and more the part. So what do we got to do? I not only have to keep getting leaner and tighten that waistline up, the loose skin and the fat both, but I'm going to have to really start thinking of if I really want to sell it, and I'm going to keep looking this part more and more, I'm going to go ahead and train as if I was getting ready for a bodybuilding show. So my training is going to look more and more like that. Doesn't mean we remove heavy work for the big three, though. They'll still be in there, just like many Mr. Olympias have done successfully. Okay, but it is going to be more and more bodybuilder because, again, I'm going to have to bias it. I'm still going to say it's power building, though, because I'm doing heavy work with the big three. All right. So as far as these lifts go, I went ahead and took the weight down a little bit. And some of this stuff I'm going to reduce weights to make sure the form is perfect and just do hard sets, very close to failure or to failure. Keep the volumes up. I'm going to do most muscle groups, I think at this point, about 10 to 12 sets, but they're going to be hit once a week. So again, trying to get the closed grip to feel comfortable again. It looks a little not perfect. It looks better when I went lighter. The 225 to 8, it just felt off, and I really felt my shoulders a lot more than my triceps. It felt like it was kind of hammering my shoulders kind of hard. So I'm like, let me take the weight down so we can feel the triceps more. I've got to bring those arms up. So it can't just be about moving weight and going, let me just try to keep getting rep PRs and get up to sets of 12 with a 225. I need the triceps to be working. So I'm trying to make sure I'm feeling them. Same thing on the curls. I brought straight bar curls back in today because I like starting with a basic exercise. And I'm going to superset arms. So my split's still going to be a priority towards arms, which means we'll have an arm day. Okay. Now, if a person were not struggling with arm balance, I would go ahead and put triceps on their bench day, their chest day. I would put biceps on a back day. I have no problem doing that on a split if someone is balanced already. My torso is still bigger than my arms. My arm's going to take priority. Okay? And I'm probably going to do more and more supine grip stuff even on the back day because my lats and my back are probably my dominant muscle group. So again, let's go ahead and use them to build biceps. But I'm not going to throw isolation in for the arms on that day because the issue is, again, frequency doesn't need that. I just need to train harder and put more focus and make sure that I have a day like today where they come in fresh. They are doing all the work from the very first sets all the way through the workout. And I think that's really, really the key to it. Okay, that's how we bring up weak muscle groups I think throwing stuff at the end, it just doesn't work that well. For powerlifting purposes, it does. Not for bodybuilding purposes. All right. So the arms are going to need their own day like I'm doing here. All right, on the preacher curls, a lot of these I pause at the bottom. Sometimes people will be like, you're not locking out. Go on as low as my arm will let me. I know it looks funny from this angle, but you know, what do you want me to do? So you guys will see when I pause or fail, you'll see that it's pretty much the same point. So the point here, I'm only making that point because I tell people to go all the way down these. Notice on that failed rep, I stopped at the bottom. All right. Keeping in mind that is the bicep I have torn before. So that one has been reattached. So that might be a factor there. All right. And another reason I have to spend so much time on arms, right? It's another reason. And I have to be careful with them. But we're going to come in and train them hard. So these were sets to failure. So what I did for the first exercise, I did the barbell curls and I kept them super strict. Kept them super strict, full range of motion, right? As strict as possible, and just did the sets to failure. Like it kind of stuck at the bottom on that one of them. I tried to get the same reps to match it, and it pretty much just stuck in the middle. I couldn't finish the rep. So then from here, we're doing skull crushers. I took the weight down a hair so I can get 12 plus reps. I was getting 10s, putting a 45 on each side of that bar, but they were really hard. And on these ended up being limit sets. I got 12 to 13 on all of these. But notice on some of them, the form is just degrading and I'm almost having to pull it over to finish the last rep, which means that's muscle failure. Okay, because failure also means if you have to cheat to finish a rep, that's muscle failure. That's it, you count that as failure. On the case of a curl, I can just let it end. On a skull crusher, I don't want the bar to smash my face, hence the term skull crusher, nose breakers, whatever people want to call them. All right, it doesn't make sense to do that. So you just do almost a pullover effect to make sure that you lock the last rep that you're not going to get. All right. So here we go, preacher curls again. So what I do on these, I'm taking the left arm, again, the previously injured one, from, my gosh, how many years has it been? Has it been 20 years? It's been 20 years now. It's now been 20 years. That previously injured one from 20 years ago, and we lead with it. We let it lead. And then I match it on the other side. Interestingly enough, I'm taking these to failure. Right there, that failed. It went down, it just stopped. So that stopped with my lockout. All right, so then I match it on the other side. So the idea here is match it. And these are controlled. And I've had some people say, I don't feel any tension at the top of a preacher curl. Well, quit doing a wrist curl. Look at my hand position. Notice my wrist is cocked back a little bit. If you do that and you lean all the way forward, you'll still have tension on the bicep at the top. But this is a lengthened position exercise. It puts one hell of a lot of stretch on the muscle, but it puts all that tension down near the bottom. Right? So the highest amount of mechanical tension on this exercise is down near the lengthened position. That's why it works so well, particularly for building that lower bicep. Skull crushers, I did notice on the first set, my elbow tendons felt slightly funny, but I never know if that's the muscles or the tendons. Sometimes I think it's the tendons and I realize later I'm not feeling it in the tendons. So I want to keep doing these because I do feel them contract really hard in my tricep. So I threw in some band press downs at the end just to keep the tendon health on point. So I want to make sure that I don't start to get any tendon issues. Another reason to go lighter on these, let's take them lighter like this. We don't have to go up past 100 pounds. We don't have to do that. Do 88 pounds on here. Call it because it's an 18-pound bar. I swear I should round it up to 20 just to make it sound better. But I know that the bar is 18 pounds. Because of the manufacturer says it is. So again, we kept those in about that 12 to 13 rep range. On the last set of preacher curls, I couldn't get 12. I got 12 on the first two. This one, I got 11, and it just stuck. I couldn't get a 12th rep. So then we match on the other side. But the idea on these, we're taking all these to limit sets because I'm really only doing 9 sets, of course, in the band press downs. We're only doing 9 sets of direct work on this day. So I definitely need them to be high quality sets. But keeping in mind, I'm doing a couple types of presses on the chest day. Okay, so we are doing pressing there. So there is triceps, and then I may throw pullovers back in on that day also. So biceps might be the one exception to where I go, well, I don't necessarily need as much. I can do my 9 sets. You know, triceps are getting the extra band work, and the only reason is biceps don't seem to need as much volume. Plus, I think I'm going to start doing chins again on the back day. I'm already doing supine grip barbell rows. So in a lot of ways, I more or less have 2 bicep days. Just one of them is all compound movements because it's back day. And then the other one is, of course, all isolation movements. And again, what we're doing here, we're hitting it from 3 different angles. So even though I'm only doing 9 sets of direct bicep work, we're working 3 angles, pretty much doing them all to failure. And then, of course, we're going to have big exercises that are pushed hard on the back day that are hitting them. So I'm going to bias the back day towards it a little bit. So again, my split is going to be very arm dominant. So I'm at a point now, if the arms just come up, maybe the delts cap a little bit more, and I shed about 4 inches off that waistline, be in a pretty good spot. But what I'm going to do is start developing every head of every muscle. So then we finish up with these seated extensions, and I've noticed I wanted to do them with a dumbbell today, like a 2-armed dumbbell, and my shoulder mobility isn't there. I'm hoping if I do the pullovers and I do the hanging leg raises every workout, notice that's what I'm going to do, that seems to help with my shoulders a lot. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the hanging leg raises all 5 lower body days. Okay, so again, kind of a traditional bodybuilding idea. Let's just train abs every day, right? Do them at the end of every workout. Just do abs at the end of every day, because they're a different muscle. Like honestly, they're just a stabilizer, and it'd really be the only direct work they get. Yes, they're still the top of my head skinned. So I found with these though, because I couldn't do the one dumbbell, I'm like, let me take these wider and see if they feel better, because I feel like the form is still a bit off when I go close. So I took it wider onto that first little section where it changes positions on the easy curl bar. Lo and behold, these felt a lot better. I'm a little more consistent. And the main thing is getting that stretch at the bottom, you know, and that is unfortunately currently my shoulder range of motion. We're going to keep doing all these full range of motion movements on other stuff, and I'm going to see if we can slowly rebuild that. Oh, the other thing of note, I dropped a bunch of the water weight. Told you guys I needed to adjust my diet. I was getting too boofy and it was really around the waistline a lot. That's another reason I have been wearing a belt on a lot of this stuff, just because it's distracting when people see that and comment on it on some of these smaller movements. I think it's distracting for the audience. But I think what I am going to do, obviously, like you'll see in these last couple sets, I took the belt off and it looked okay. As that starts to tighten up more now that I'm dropping the boof, because again, I still have that loose skin, I'm going to go ahead and probably pull the belt back off. And because again, it's about distraction for the audience. It has no other purpose. But this isn't too bad now. See, that was looking a week ago. That was not looking correct. It's tolerable right now sitting down. And then it looks even better on the incline curls. So the point is, I'm secure with it because I've shown you guys even my loose skin at its worst. I'm fine with it. It's just not. It's a distraction for the audience, and I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand. They need to comment, and they've missed all the videos about the loose skin. So we can see some of it, but I think during the exercises, I just don't want it to be distracting. But again, now the incline curls, it's tightened up from a couple weeks ago a lot. It didn't look like this. So that drop in that little bit of water with adjustment in my diet really helped. So I can go ahead and just pull it back off now. I think it'll be fine. And I'm going to keep doing the ab work because I want to eventually work towards all beltless training again, including my squats and my deadlifts. I feel like right now I haven't been doing enough direct ab work. I don't think it's going to go as well. So I'm going to do the ab work and let's try it out for a few weeks. And eventually I am going to gravitate back towards all completely raw training. Like I'm not using wrist wraps anymore. I don't use any sleeves. And I want to eventually work the belt back out. All right, so then we finish up with a couple sets of these high rep band press downs to failure just to work that tendon, and it's particularly in that stretch position, right? And no, I can't lock these when I have them set like that, even with those high reps. It just is what it is. But I don't care. I'm just trying to get blood flow and to work those tendons. I want that tendon health. Plus, it's putting them in the Lincoln position anyways. So we did 2 sets of these. I could have done more, but I'm just like, let's call it there. That's more volume than my triceps have been used to for the last week or so. Let's ease back in. So it ended up being 11 sets. And then keeping in mind we're gonna press on Monday. Then I did 2 sets of hanging leg raises, and I'm probably gonna do a couple sets of hanging leg raises. I think every workout. Started doing that the other day, all right? And let's just continue that trend. I think it'll be a good thing. Let's just work on my abs. It'll also help with my grip, and it'll help with my shoulder mobility. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.